Yo, my name is Rawlins. Before we get into this episode review, man, I gotta steal a line from my homie Diamonds Live. Oh man, goddamn, we gotta talk about it. So, Death Note episode 3. I wouldn't say it is as good as episode 2, but I gotta say, man, it's the fucking battle of the brains, bro. Straight up, battle of the goddamn brains. And it's moving pretty quickly, man. We have 37 episodes throughout this whole series, and we're already on episode 3. They're moving so quickly through this whole light versus ale brain battle shit, pretty much. And I wonder, how much more does this series have to offer? It's getting good, man. So we start off episode 3 with the whole police squad, the task force giving their reports. Now, on the whole information side of things, they explained that there's 3,029 ports through telephone and email. Some were curious citizens, some were prank phone calls. 14 people claim to known and have seen Kira, which is Light, and 21 people claim to be Kira. Now, on the victim side of things, all the information of the victims were known in Japan, of course, and times were between 4 a.m. and 2 a.m. And L basically makes the goddamn guess that it has to be a fucking student, which really it really makes me think like these motherfuckers are smart. And he basically pairs this up with a childish notion of right and wrong, basically saying, yo, if you commit a crime, you should be sentenced to death. And he said you should be considering all possibilities and focus on all available info in Japan, including like faces and IDs and shit. So as they're having this meeting, one of the investigators says that, yo, I know shouldn't need to mention this, but violent crime pretty much increases, man. And, ever since all this shit happened, violent crime increased by big numbers. And, he's basically looking as if he's defending Light or Kira. You know what? Fuck it. When we're talking about in the eyes of the police, we're going to call him Kira. So, and he apologizes later to the police chief. And, they were like, they have a good laugh over it. He's like, okay, it's pretty reasonable that you want to bring that up. But as long as you're not defending Kira or commending him, we're all good. So we transfer to Light helping his sister out with her math homework, and his dad comes home. Now, I didn't know this. I didn't even know he had a dad before episode 3, and most people don't, honestly. But as soon as we get our first look at Light's dad, you're able to see that he's a police chief. And it made me think like, oh shit is going to get more lit. And Light explains that, people aren't going to look at him, not only because they're going to have a hard time expecting him. He is the son of a police chief, and it's just not going to look right. But he also explains that he has access to police information. So he's able to hop on his daddy's computer, run a home network, copy all the files he needs without being traced, and then all the while keeping track of the investigations. Now he's able to see that L's expecting that the person behind all this shit is students. And he questions the rules. He says, okay, if a person's cause of death isn't written within 40 seconds and details of the death aren't given in 6 minutes and 40 seconds, that means they'll just die of a heart attack at the moment. But he comes up with a theory that if he does it at a different time, or he can use the notebook at a different time, he can change the police's notion on thinking of if it's a student. So instead of waiting for when he's available, our little genius here starts trying to kill a criminal each hour. Now, L basically starts thinking to himself, okay, since he can determine time of death, since the way he's doing this, he's trying to show us that he's gonna determine time of death, right? So he thought to himself, well, that's interesting. Since we began starting to suspect the student, the pace of the killings changed. it can't be too much of a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. It's more of convenience. And from this, he can guess that Light has access to police info. And Light basically, we cut back to him. He says, now L's starting to sweat. Okay, if he's as good as they say he is, he should already start to expect that I'm able to have access to police information and whatnot. And he said, this is why I keep 50 criminals alive for a time like this. And from this, man, you can tell Light is a smart motherfucker. L's another smart motherfucker. That's why I say this shit's the battle of the brains, man. Shit is, I guess, getting lit. You need to be a smart motherfucker to understand this, because I'm not even gonna lie, I had to rewind it back the episode a couple times just to be like, wait, whoa, what? Because I was having trouble, man. Like, these are some smart motherfuckers, but it's interesting, man. I love mysteries. So Light's walking around with Ryuk, right? And he says, my plan is to get close to L, to eliminate him. Now, he starts to talk about human trust and how there's very few people in the world that humans actually trust. People have a hard time trusting anybody, which in a sense is true. So he said, you know what? Can you trust a person whose face and name you don't know? And he basically turns this all around to say that, you know what? Soon as they find out, or as soon as L reveals that they have access, the person who's doing all the killings has access to police information, L will be expecting or suspecting someone in the police force, while the police force will be suspecting L. So, his main thing is the police aren't going to have any trust amongst each other. L's not going to trust the police, and vice versa. So, what Light's trying to do is let the police find out who L is. Once they do that, he's gonna kill L with a death note. So we transfer back to the police, and all the police in the task force are like, you know what, man, we're resigning. We are risking our lives for a person that we can't even find, and they notice that it's gonna be a difficult job. They notice that L basically is saying, yo, after your whole media, or they're saying after L's whole media stunt, they're able to tell that if Light knows the face and the name of the person, that he can kill him practically instantly. And every police member is like, man, we don't want a part of this, man. While L's just over there sitting around, not revealing his name, not revealing his face, they feel like they're fucking being cheated in a sense. And they don't want to risk their lives for this shit, which is perfectly understandable. L's dad, the police chief's like, no, wait. And they're all fucking walking out. They said, you know what? We refuse to work this case. Our life's being put at risk. And they just fucking walk out on them. So L's already looking into the police. And he said something along the lines of, okay, there's 142 members of the police, And he's looking into all of them. And he's suspecting either one of the members is the killer, or it's someone close to the member of the police force. Now, it's nighttime, and Ryuk and Light are walking, and they're going home. And Ryuk's like, listen, Light, I'm going to have to let you in on something. I'm not on your side, and I'm not on L's side. But he basically lets him know that, yo, you're being followed by someone. You're being followed by another person, another human. And Light's basically wonder, are they already starting to suspect me and whatnot? And he basically said he needs the name of his stalker. He needs to know what they look like. And Ryuk, and they're already in the house at this point, so he's talking to Ryuk, and Ryuk's like, listen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Although I'm not on your side, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you the two main differences between a Shinigami and a human. And he explains that every life that's taken by a Shinigami adds more to their life. And he gives the example of, if a human's expected to live for 60 years and they're 40 years old, that leaves 20 years. So if a Shinigami writes the name in the death note, they get 20 years added onto their life. And then he tells them about their eyes. He says, by looking at a person through the eyes of a Shinigami, you're able to see their name, and you're able to see how old they are, and you're able to see their lifespan. And he basically explains to Light, like, yo, by looking at you, I can see your name, I can see your lifespan, I can see how old you are, and I can basically figure out how much time I'm going to get if I write your name in a death note or whatever the hell, if he takes his life. Now, he says, you know what? There's a deal that we can make in order for you to see through my eyes, in order for you to have my eyes and to see people's lifespans and names and shit. And he said, okay, what's the deal? So he basically breaks it down to him. He's like, if you wanna make this deal, you gotta have to give me half of your lifespan. Meaning, if you're living 3 years, you're gonna have 1.5 a year. If you're living for 1 year, then you're gonna be 6 months. 6 months left to live. That's the deal. And he said, like, you want to make this deal, and the episode ends there. Now, like I said, I think the thing that really picked up with episode 2 is L's whole media stunt where he freaking basically gets a criminal executed on live TV by a sense, and motherfucking L wrote his name in the death note and basically killed him on fucking camera. He's like, okay, interesting. I think that really picked up with episode 2. Episode 3 is more relaxed, and you can fucking see how these guys are freaking battling it out with wits and shit. You know, they're basically trying to see who's smarter and everything like that. And it's more of a mystery type feel to it. I can say episode 2 is like that too, but without the whole media scene, then I think you could say these 2 episodes would be the same. But one thing I know is by far right now, all these episodes of Death Note are being left off with cliffhangers. Like, oh shit, is motherfucking Ryuk and Light, are they gonna make this deal? Is Light's life gonna be cut in half or whatever the hell, man? So it's fucking interesting. And like I said, I love Death Note. This fucking series is straight up fire. Now, what I think is, I think this series is good. I love mysteries. I can't wait to see episode 4, man. I'm left in somewhat of the same suspense as I was last week after I reviewed episode 2. But you know what, man? It's going to be good. Out of all the series that I'm doing now, Death Note is easily my favorite. Followed by My Hero Academia. And where I'm at with Black Clover right now, Black Clover is on the bottom. But this is going to be a good series, man. Episode 4, just by seeing by these first 3 episodes, is going to be lit. Straight up. That's it for this review, everybody. I'll see you guys Wednesday for My Hero Academia, episode 3. And then we'll be doing Black Clover again Friday. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Ray Rawlins signing out. Have a good day, y'all. Eat some barbecue, drink some beers, have some fun. Peace.